And so what we want to do is zoom out and look at retail and economy as a whole and understand that automotive is a silo of that, but it's influenced by all these other impact factors. And if we can do that as an industry, then we start to relate to the customer and the employee on a more seamless level.
Welcome to the Strategy with Jason podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Look, we've both been to many events. I've been to events from, airport hotels, to monster convention centers and kind of everything in between. And, look, guys, I'll be the first one to admit, I'm not overly impressed with everything that I see out there anymore. It seems like we've kind of got ourselves stuck in this kind of loop of kind of the same conference, the same content, and look, from the dealers and people that I attend these events, if it wasn't for the networking, they say the same thing. It's like, hey man, this is the one time a year I get to see you, Jason. Let's go have dinner. But like, and I think what you guys are doing cool. So let's get into that. Let's talk a little bit about the event. When's it going to be, and how you guys have kind of structured this to be something very different than I think the industry has seen up to this point. Who wants to take the first go at this?
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll grab that. So we're hosting it. Sorry, I had to jump in. So we're hosting it in Philly, September 11th through the 13th. The event is called ASOTU Con. So if you're listening and you're like listening on one device and want to look on the other, it's ASOTUCON.com. But yeah, the idea, and we're calling it the rebirth of the Automotive Conference. And it's not to say that all automotive conferences are necessarily bad or doing it the wrong way. There's actually some that probably need to keep doing things the way they've done them because they are so dialed in at this point. But there's, by and large, a need for us to rethink the way that we collaborate and join and vibe together as an industry. Jason, you say this all the time in your content, and a lot of industry professionals, both in the dealership and outside of the dealership, are saying like the way that we engage employees and customers in retail automotive has to change. So what we're saying is, shouldn't the way that we engage at conferences also change? And so the idea is to provide a space, a content stream, a format that engages people in a different way, that engages their mind, engages the conversation, allows them to kind of like broaden and open their horizons outside. We say like a lot just looks right inside automotive at that nucleus. And so what we want to do is zoom out and look at retail and economy as a whole and understand that automotive is a silo of that, but it's influenced by all these other impact factors. And if we can do that as an industry, then we start to relate to the customer and the employee on a more seamless level. And so that's like the overview of the conference. And I'm sure Paul can dive into like how we're formatting that and what it's going to look like to be in and around that space.
Yeah.
There's like this element where we've been saying attendees, we don't have attendees, like participants welcome, because this is going to be an event where you participate. And, we've all been to a lot of events, and some of the ones that make the longest impact are the ones, the smaller events where you spend a lot of time with the people, right? Not the ones that are spread out so far, because you're siloed from even the other people and the other topics. So this event, when you walk in, it's about engaging, and we have a main hall that can't even fit everybody that's going to be there intentionally. So we have a main hall, and then we have multiple side stages. So on our main stage content, we're going to simulcast that to the rooms. And then we have a marketing tech room, right? The operations room, a sales leadership and culture room. And we're trying to encourage everyone to go to at least one session on something you don't know anything about. Because we think when people are actually able to engage and build empathy for what else is going on in the other areas of the store, we think the whole store wins, and we think the customer experience wins, as Kyle was just saying. So like from the very beginning, our welcome reception is actually in a dealership. Sioka Subaru is the flagship Subaru store in the country now. It just grand opened in Philadelphia. Mr. Sioka is excited to host the industry. Tom Dahl's going to be the president of Subaru of America, our CEO. He's in charge, and he's going to be. And so the welcome reception is going to be in this multi-story dealership. It's beautiful. On September 11th, we're going to do a charitable initiative with a dealer-started, a charity for veterans to help disabled veterans. So it's like we're going deep into the community. Monday, you're going to walk into this venue and you're going to be like, I already am in a different mind space when you walk into the Xfinity Live Center, and everything is provided, all the food, all the entertainment. It's right like within walking distance to the hotel. So we're not going to be losing people. You have a full day of content. That night, we're flipping the whole place from conference mode to entertainment mode. And in all the different rooms, there's going to be silent disco and karaoke and live DJs. We're bringing in Nashville's hottest party band called 12 South. They're going to play an open air show. Nice. And everyone who works in automotive is invited. Literally every single person. So every deal, every tech, every lot porter, every BDC rep, we're going to get everybody to come. So we're going to go from 600 conference mode to like 3,000. This is the retail automotive industry vibing together. And then Tuesday, we're back for just a half a day of content so people can go home like energized, and we don't experience that, the slow death that every conference we've ever been to experiences on day 3. We're not even having a day 3.
The famous day 3 when everyone's kind of shuffling about from the parties the night before. No, I know what you're
looking down saying, how can I move my flight up?
How can I move my yes. Anyway, I think you've done that once before. I may have given you a ride to the airport on one of those events.
That's right. I remember that while we were recording a podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy with Jason podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Don't want to miss new content? Be sure to check out the full podcast library at strategywithjason.com to stay in the know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.